Okay, day number 8. So you are now halfway through or over halfway through the 2 weeks, which is really good. You've stuck it out this long. You can definitely stick it out for 2 weeks, which means you should get a good indication as to whether or not this is going to help you. So well done. You're making the first step towards recovery, and I'm really, really pleased for you. If this works, I'm going to be over the moon for you. So I wanted to talk quickly about cravings again, because it's something I was thinking about, how today I haven't craved anything at all. I haven't even craved the honey or the coconut water. And that's probably because my body is getting used to not having these things again and being totally zero carb. But you have probably been craving bread, pasta, chocolate, ice cream, burger buns. You've probably been craving these things. But if you think about it, the fact that I haven't craved any of those things for such a long time, and I still remember them, don't get me wrong, but the fact that I haven't craved those things for such a long time should make you realize that your body will be able to adapt to this with time as well. Because my body is the same as yours. I have intestines, I have a heart. Some people have accused me of having a brain. But I don't crave these things anymore because my body's got over it, okay? So yours will too if you stick with this long enough. Just want to give you that little bit of motivation there, because it will adapt if you just stick with it like mine has. There's loads of other people on the internet that you can watch that will tell you that they had the same thing as well. But I know it's not easy at the beginning. This is day 8 for me on the Lion diet, when I've been eating pork loin and honey and coconut water. Those things are nowhere near as addictive as those refined sugars and the carbohydrates and all that, like the bread and pasta and all that stuff and the rice. That stuff's way more addictive, but you can get over it. So another thing I wanted to talk about quickly is today when I woke up, I was starting to get cramp in my calf, my left calf, and I woke up with that and I was like, oh no, what the hell? And it got me thinking, why am I getting cramp now? Because I was on the Lion diet for months before I started getting cramp before. And then it was bone broth, and I think the main thing was bone broth that fixed it for me, and reducing my salt. Now, I've been having bone broth. Obviously, I never had any yesterday, but I've not been going too over the top with salt. It might look like I do in the video, but compared to what I was doing back when I used to get it happen before, that's not really overdoing it. So I was wondering, why is this happening now so soon after starting the diet? And then I started looking into this, and I saw a video from a guy, I can't remember his name. My dad talks about him all the time. I think his name is Anthony Chaffee. And he was talking about how oftentimes the real problem is actually lack of water, it's dehydration. And so I thought what I'll do today is test this out. So instead of having bone broth, I've drunk more water. And if you look back through my videos, I've not really been drinking that much water. And when I have, it's always had a lot of electrolytes in it. So today, I've not had any electrolytes. I've had no bone broth. I've drunk, you'll see in a minute, but I think it was 2 500 milliliter bottles of water. And then there's one, I finished 2 litre bottle of water. So I've had 3 litres of water today, and I finished that. Now, I never filmed every single time I had a sip out the bottle, because this is one of the things that's stopping me from drinking water, is that every time I get a bottle of water out, because I wanted to keep these videos accurate, I've been basically getting it out the fridge, drinking it, filming it, and trying to drink it as quickly as possible so that I could show when I'm drinking these things. I haven't done that today because I want to run this test, but just know that I've just been sipping it throughout the day. So let's get into my full day of eating and drinking. As I say, apologies for not showing exactly when I was drinking that, but I was just sipping it, and you could do that too, just whenever you feel a little bit thirsty. And I'll let you know tomorrow whether or not it helps with the cramp, and I'll keep running the test if it does, and if not, I'll be back on the bone broth. But I just wanted to share that little update, because even me at this stage where I've been doing this for so long, and I had such a long period of doing it, I'm still learning right now as well with you. So I can share all of the experiences I've had, and that's what I intend to keep doing. So let's get into the day of eating and drinking. Okay, so at 7:54 a.m. I had my first bottle of water. This was 500 millilitres. And then at 8:27, I had another bottle of water, again 500 millilitres. That was how I started the day off. And then at 11:14 a.m, I had that other half of the 20% fat minced beef that I opened the other day. Now that's sat in the fridge for quite a long time, and that's why when you look at the texture there, there's a bit of a, on the edges, I don't know if you saw, there's like a darker red colour. You can sort of see on that bit in the middle of the screen at the bottom of the ball. It's a dark red colour and it's a kind of tougher texture. That's what always happens when you leave it in the fridge for too long exposed, because that packet of minced beef was open. But when the meat is cooked, it's never seemed to affect the taste or the actual texture when you're eating it. So it doesn't seem to be an actual issue, but just something that to know that that's what happens. You'll notice again when I placed those burgers down there that I spread them out across that air fryer liner because I don't want it to lift up, because as I've mentioned quite a few times, it's burnt the paper because it touches the bit at the top. And then those burgers I think come out really nice actually. You see how they're a little bit burnt? It's kind of funny, like I said yesterday, I almost called this video something like, watch me burn minced beef in the air fryer again or something, because that is basically what I've been doing for the last little while. But it just tastes so good when it's got that crispiness to it, don't it? So that was 2:12 p.m, I think it was, just gone 2 p.m. And what I decided to do was, because I've got so much of this minced beef in my fridge at the moment, and it's going out a date in 2 days' time, I've decided to eat my way through it, but then also freeze a lot of it as well. But instead of just putting those packets in the freezer, because it can be quite inconvenient, because what will happen is if I put that in the freezer, then I've got to get it out the freezer and then leave it out overnight, and then that next day I've got to eat it. So I would rather have it prepared as burgers in the freezer so I can get them out and just eat the burgers whenever I want. So that's why I've done this, which I know I've made another video about in the past, so I won't talk you all the way through it. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can see what I'm doing here, but I've made these into burgers separated by the parchment paper so that I can separate them when I'm ready to actually eat them. And then these go into the freezer. And whenever I want beef burgers, I can just get them out and eat them. So they could stay in there for ages. And I often fancy beef burgers, to be fair. So that's the idea of that. And then you see there was a couple of bits of ribeye steak in there as well that have also, were on the way out date-wise. I think ribeye steak out the freezer is amazing in the air fryer. It tastes so good. Don't know why, but a lot of beef, I think, like even those burgers, they will taste fantastic after freezing. I've wondered in the past whether it actually improves the flavour, Really, I have. So anyway, yeah, this was my second time at burning minced beef in the air fryer. These shriveled up really small, didn't they? But you see there's a lot of fat there. Hell of a lot of fat. You can see it around the burgers in the liner. See how much fat there is. So there's probably more than 20% fat in that minced beef. I'm pretty sure this is the clip that when I watched it back, you could actually see the fat drip off. No, I'm not sure it was actually. I didn't catch it that time, if you could. So then at 3:14 p.m, I started drinking the 2-litre bottle of water that I mentioned. Now, okay, so 5:20, then done the same thing again with this other pack. So that way I've got through 2.5 packets of minced beef, because I've got 2 in the freezer now, 2 half packs in the freezer, yeah? And then I ate the other 2 halves. So yeah, with that water there, obviously I put the timestamp in for when I started drinking it, but I was drinking that up until I reckon about 8 p.m, just sipping it slowly, not going overboard with it. But I didn't want to film it every single time because it's a real pain to keep doing that. And you probably don't want to see it either, do you? I mean, my thing really with showing the water consumption is just showing rough amounts, which I think I've been getting wrong anyway. And also the timing, making sure that I'm spreading it out. Like I wouldn't want to be drinking a load of water before or after eating a load of minced beef with high fat, because it'll upset my stomach. So that's why I was showing those times there. So anyway, yeah, this was my last meal of the day. So I ended up eating 1.5 packets of minced beef today. I don't really feel over hungry. I could eat more now, to be honest, but I'm not really hungry. I'll probably make up for it tomorrow if I didn't eat enough. That's what usually happens. So yeah, I've almost finished cooking these now, just the 5 minutes on the other side. And we'll see how they come out. Yep, nice and burnt, just how I like them. There's a lot of fat there, actually. This might be the ones that I noticed it was dripping off of when I was eating them. But yeah, so that was my full day of eating. A packet and a half of minced beef, 3 litres of water, decent amount of salt. I didn't have any bone broth, didn't have any electrolytes. And that was literally everything that I ate and drunk all day. Okay, see you tomorrow.